Minna konnichiwa, I am Oshiro from OKeCorp and welcome to the review of the anime Guilty Crown. So this time, no manga first, because, well, it was an anime before becoming a manga. So the anime is 22 episodes long and began airing in autumn 2011. It was produced by Production LG and was a huge success. Indeed, the anime is really popular. Right, this time the anime is popular among young people, hell yeah. Anyway, it's a show taking place in a post-apocalyptic world. It includes fights, school stuff and freaking awesome robots. It also deals with viruses, magic powers and things like that. Anyway, the anime deals with the themes of like psychology, science fiction and a bit of romance. But the element which represents the anime the best is probably the drama. But yeah, you'll see that in the actual review. Well, let's speak a bit about the manga now. It was written by Miyagi Yosuke and drawn by Mizuki Shion, and Square Enix produced the manga version. Well, that's awesome now. And it was released in 2011. And it was also published in the Shonen Gangan magazine. 7 volumes are currently out and the series is finished. Well, that was fast. Nothing more to say about the manga, nor the anime. Well, now 2 OVAs were released. One of them is a prequel and the other is just for fun. A game was also made. A visual novel on PC. I did not play it. I don't like it when I cannot play in a game with visual novels. Anyway, since we are done with the intro, I'm gonna be answering the following question. Should you watch Guilty Crown? Pretty redundant, same questions, 3 times, you'll get used to it. Same as before, first the plot, then the actual review, and to end the review, my personal opinion and the conclusion quite obviously. Let's roll. So about the plot now, just before the events of the main story, in 2029, just on Christmas, sort of biological hazard known as the apocalypse virus just plunges Japan into a state of chaos. This later became the Lost Christmas incident. So Japan was unable to contain this threat and decided to ask the United Nations for help. The UN sent the GHQ, an organization who did contain the virus, but obviously they sort of just erased Japan's liberty and it became a dictatorship, but with some order, I guess. So 10 years later there is like a resistance group who is known as the Funeral Parlor, and they wage a campaign against the GHQ in order to liberate Japan once more. So the story begins when high school student Shu Oma encounters a wounded girl named Inori Yuzuriha. It's the vocalist of a popular internet group called Egoist, and she's taking refuge at his film club's workshop. The GHQ antibodies storm the workshop and arrest her for involvement with the terrorist group. Shu follows the coordinates of Inori's robots to a drop zone where he meets Tsutsugami Guy. He's the leader of this terrorist group and he asks him to safeguard a vial. As GHQ begins to attack the Roppongi area looking for the vial, it shatters as Shu goes to rescue Inori when she becomes threatened by GHQ and Lave mechs. The vial contains the Void Genome, or the Void Genome, however that's pronounced in Japanese. It's a powerful genetic weapon derived from the apocalypse virus, which grants Shu the power of the kings, an ability that allows his right hand to extract voids, weapons of people's psyche given physical form. It's like the mind of people who are materialized in a physical form. So Shu extracts Inori's void and destroys the attacking Enlaves. So Inori's void is a sword, basically a big sword, really powerful weapon. And after that there are a lot of awesome events. I will not spoil them. Well, this was basically the first episode. Well, in that case, let's begin the actual review. And we will be starting by the review of the plot. I hope you can handle it, it's pretty long. Alright, so let's begin. The plot is indeed very interesting. It is separated in two parts. First of all, the first 12 episodes, where the protagonist gets involved with the resistance group called terrorists, obviously. We get introduced to the characters we will follow throughout the anime. At the end of this part, we learn more about the virus and the main characters. It's a very good part. The beginning is awesome, it's quite fast-paced, and the action comes right at the start, showing the contrast between the hero's high school life and the terrorist life of the female protagonist. In this part, we also discover the power of the male main character, which is quite useful. But I forgot about it when I tried to write this review. I had to check for it again. I had only the resistance and the terrorist thing in mind. So there you go. But yeah, it is still quite useful considering he can use the soul of a person as a weapon. We learn more about this power in the second part, in which we can see all the high schoolers living inside their school, trying to defend themselves with their soul. After it, there is a really interesting aspect of the anime, the corruption of our protagonist's minds because of the death of his friend. He becomes kind of a dictator in the high school, and it's an impressive aspect of his mourning. And after that, there is all this antagonist coming back, Shu losing power, etc. Well, you'll see that if you watch the anime. I don't want to spoil it for you. And other than that, we now have the end to discuss. Some people love it, others hate it. If you don't want to get spoiled, I advise you to skip this and go right here. I'm going to show here the time where the spoiler stops if I think about it. So basically the hero saves everyone by trying to kill himself to take all the virus in his heart, because that's his void. His void is taking other people's illness and stuff like that, and depression and stuff. So he tries to take everything, things like of the whole world, whole Japan actually, but yeah. But the thing is that at the end, he is saved by Inori. So there we go. So this is kind of, yeah, that's cool, etc. But is he alive? Is he not? Is she alive? Is she not? We see that in the after this end, there is a sort of little passage where we can see what the heroes have become, and we only see Shu, who is blind and stuck with Inori in his mind, and she is dead. It's a really sad end. It's really pathetic, but sort of very meaningful. So you love it or you hate it. It's there you go. That's really strange, but there you go. I'm gonna talk about that in my personal opinion a bit more. But there you go. Let's now jump to the graphics. So this part of the review is gonna be quick. Indeed, the graphics are amazingly well detailed. Just look at this damn pen. Just the pen, how well detailed it is. That shows the anime is really well done, and oh god damn it, it's wonderful. And yes, everything is as well done as this pen. The buildings, the materialized souls, the void, the characters, the Gundams, yeah, not the mechs or whatever, the Gundam, and the clothes. Everything is beautiful. The colors are also great. The animation is awesome, and it is fluid as hell. And also, when a soul gets materialized into a void, the effects are wonderful. Just look at this scene. Isn't it beautiful? All the anime is beautiful, fluid, and that well detailed. Alright, not very long as I said, but yeah, let's go for the music now. So the music is truly great, the openings are really catchy, and the endings are slow-paced with a sort of sad atmosphere to it, if I remember it right. Some of the music used in the anime are sung by the female protagonist. Well, not really, but they want us to believe this. So let's make them happy, and believe it. So there you go. Some of the voice tracks sometimes bring a lot of emotions. It's usually played at the right moments, and to be honest, I cried in front of the anime. I cried in front of a lot of anime. I'm really sensitive for those things. But there you go, I did. So other than this, the soundtrack is pretty good and modern. Everyone will agree it suits the anime, and it is indeed really catchy. Anyway, now that this is done, let's talk about my personal opinion. So now, my personal opinion. Since the anime is separated in two parts, I'm going to be discussing about the two parts. So the first one, it is amazing. I had a lot of fun watching it. So there is some drama, but yeah, still a shonen with romance and a strong theme. With all the virus, the post-apocalyptic thing, and the voids, genome, and stuff like that, and I loved it. And the end of this first part was really amazing, and it was like leading to know some second part, and that is true. The second part is way better, to my opinion, than the first part. The virus background is developed, and we learn a lot more about some characters or the actual series, and like it's awesome until the end. Like we learn the background of the Lost Christmas, the background of Shu, the background of Guy, and stuff like that. So that's awesome. But yeah, enough talking about my personal opinion about these two parts, because that's really not the main subject we are discussing in this part of the review, and you know that. Let's now talk about the end. So, again, if you don't want to be spoiled, do not watch that part and go directly to this moment of the video. I'm going to show the moment in the montage. So you're going to see that normally number up there. See you. Alright, so if you are here, still here, I assume you want to see this spoil. So it's a pretty major spoil, so if you're still here, go away now. So I'm going to begin the spoil. So Oshiro decides at the very end to absorb everyone's part of the virus and to sacrifice himself. I spoke about it up there. And he's with Inori, who is also about to die. She went blind, and because she had like all that virus into her because of her link with the girl who did the Lost Christmas. You will know about that if you watch the anime. So he's about to die, and there, just that damn girl, very unpleasant girl, pushes him away from her after he's done with all the virus. So she dies, the virus is gone, and then there is a scene a few years later. Everyone is celebrating the death of their friends. The girl who died when Shu began to lose it completely, And even Oshiro, who is pathetic as hell, would expect him maybe to go out with the Gundam or crippled girl, since she seemed to like him a lot during the anime. But no, he's blind, and all that is in his mind is the freaking Inori. We can theorize here, like she is now inside him, in his mind, so they are forever sorry, is forever together, but it's shown in such a pathetic way. We can't help but to hate the main character after he became that badass. You'll see in the anime, if you watch it, he's so badass at the beginning, and then he's like, oh, but I still think about her, dude, come on. No. He's like, come on. He's stupid. In the end, he's just a wimp. He's a coward who can't, like, I don't know, turn the page, maybe change a bit, stop being obsessed by her. Like, come on, she's been dead for the past 10 years, maybe. I know it's like mourning, and you're like, oh my god, she's dead, she was my love, etc. I understand that, I can definitely understand that. But 10 years, it's very long, 10 years, I don't know if you realize. Like 10 years ago, it was in 2015, no, it was in 2005, Bleach was only 1 year old, so there you go. I don't know. Anyway, I was just pissed off because of this end. I did not like it. I loved the whole anime. It was like one of the most awesome anime I've ever seen in all my life. That's why he will not get a bad score, a bad rank. That's what, and that is why, but the end was just bah. Anyway, let's jump to the conclusion right now. Well then, welcome back those who didn't watch the spoiler part, and let's now begin the conclusion. So first of all, the plot, it is awesome, the character development is great for all of them this time, and throughout the anime, except at the end, the plot is great, well written, well thought, and the themes which are dealt with are awesomely done so. But yeah, I think the end was crap. Anyway, the graphics are wonderful, the details are amazing, the animation is breathtaking. If you love good graphics, go watch it right away. The music then, the openings and endings are great. They suit the anime well enough just as a soundtrack. Even though I did not focus on it during the anime, I have to admit, just as in JoJo's or other anime, I like to focus on the plot. Let's now answer the question I asked earlier. Should you watch Guilty Crown? Well, if you don't mind the crap ending, or if you don't mind the badass character being pathetic, yes you should. It is still a great anime, even if the ending was just... Anyway, yes you should watch it, no doubt about it. But trust me, you're gonna be disappointed with the end. Well, now that brings us to the rank. I think it should also be rank A. You should know I don't think it should be above JoJo's or whatever. It is certainly better than Hyoka, since Hyoka ended in a cliffhanger. I don't like that. And even if it is still better than a shitty ending, damn. It still deserves the rank A, being a great anime considering the graphics and 95% of the plot. It would really have been rank S if it was not for how it's ended. Well then. In the scoreboard, it is second, above Hyoka and just below JoJo's, so it goes like that. Third one Hyoka, second one Guilty Crown, and third one JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Sorry if this time my opinion was maybe a bit stronger than the rest in the ranking and the scoreboard, but yeah, the end was really bad in my opinion. I'm really pissed off because I would love to give it a rank S because I really loved it. And I kind of regret to put JoJo's Bizarre Adventure rank A, but it is done now. But no, the ending was meh, so no, the anime is a rank A. But you should watch it like a rank S. Know that? Alright. So the review is now over. If you liked it, don't forget to like the video, to subscribe and to leave a comment, if you feel like it, obviously. Next time will probably not be a review, we'll see if I find the time to work on it this time. So, anyway, see you next Tuesday, sayonara.